Sounds to me as if we'd risk a lot for just a ghost of a chance.
What?
I'm not sure if this is
Oh, hey.
wise.
No chance is better than two. That's how the saying goes. You should talk to the Grandmaster. He called for you.
Did he now? How nice. Then I suppose I'll answer
Oh,
the
hey.
holy call of duty. Walk blessed, Archmagister. Ah, Prophet. If you have a moment, I'd like to talk. Just come upstairs when you find the time.
Oh, hey.
There you are. Have you recovered? Well, I suppose as good as can be expected under our circumstances. The Truchessus sent half our Arcanists to reinforce the gate sigil, which makes working on the beacon harder, of course. Furthermore, the nightmares have become worse, and more reports of the Red Madness are coming in. It's tragic. Truly tragic. Yes, citizens are disappearing from the city, and our outposts are finding them in the wilderness, starving and delirious. And even worse, they are extremely violent. Take care if you're on the road. Oh yes, without any doubt. The war has made things far worse. It's almost as if the High Ones draw strength from the chaos. Or maybe it's a sign that the cleansing is approaching. I don't know. Well, let's say we have a lead to a place where we could find a lead. But let me start at the beginning. While you were sleeping, someone tried to break into the storehouse of the garrison. A starling named Kamai. Well, brace yourself. He said he was looking for Shadow Steel, because he's been working on a starship for 2 decades now. He wants to use it to find the forgotten homeland of his people. Yes, doesn't it ring a bell? The Star People believe that their ancestors were born in a forgotten place among the stars. A place without war or hunger, where everyone lives in perfect harmony. All the technology, all the machines that we owe to them were invented to help them get back to this place. A very nostalgic idea. It really is, but unfortunately, a lot of Star People have died in that quest. The starships have crashed, or they simply disappeared. Up until now, no one has ever found the Star City. Kumai, however, claims that he can do it. Well, bear with me. At first, of course, we all considered him insane. He was begging and pleading and insisting that he was just an inch from finishing his ship, and that it really could get him to the Star City. Well, unlike the others, the Grand Master listened to him, and he ordered the scouts in Duneville to look for the cave where he claimed his workshop was. And you won't believe it, but they found out 2 things. First of all, the ship really does exist. And secondly, he says he used ancient Starling plans to construct the ship, which were handed down for generations in Anku, the Starling city on Nerim. We had a look at them. They look very similar to the plans we used to construct the beacon. Well, either that, or the ones who created the beacon also helped the Ancient Fathers build the Star City. There's no way to know for sure, but either way, what it does mean is that the Ancient Fathers must have known about the cycle, and therefore about the High Ones and the cleansing. Well, let's put it this way. If anybody knows, it's them, and it's definitely the best lead we have found so far. So, in other words, what that means is that we need to help this Kamai finish his ship, and that we will accompany him on his journey to the Star City. Just imagine if it works. A city in the stars that has lasted for millennia. It's unbelievable, truly unbelievable. You make it sound so easy. But in a nutshell, yes, that's what we need to do. First, you should visit Kamai's workshop in the Powder Desert. The Grand Master and some Arcanists have already left. And needless to say, be vigilant when outside the city. The Nerimese might not be careless enough to have their camp right in front of the gates, but they have established outposts all over Enderal, as you have undoubtedly already noticed. You are familiar with teleport magic, aren't you? Here, take this scroll. It will transport you directly to the Powder Desert. I need to get back to my studies now. The more we learn about the beacon, the more fascinating it becomes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, that just... might work.
A machine that banish these high ones. The mysteries of this world are endless, aren't they? Let's hope he knows what he's doing. Pathlessness wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
There you are.
There you are.
Lashari brought that map from some Parayan ruin a couple of weeks ago.
Ah, greetings. Of
Looks
course,
confusing,
what do you need?
doesn't it? She said it contains more knowledge about the Parayans than all the tomes in the Sun Temple's library put together.
The one that took place shortly before
And now
the climate.
she's gone.
That's your
just
area
like
of
Constantine.
expertise, isn't it?
Well,
Still
I
feels
did study the Chronicles, so
surreal.
I suppose so, yes. What do you need to know?
This
Well,
the
let us say that I
commander
have
of
been
Enderal,
thinking a
who
lot
incited the conflict. What
about
do
the
you know
decisions we make in life and
Only
where they
what's
lead
written in
us.
the old lore.
But let's
You
not talk
was
about that now.
A fast climber, and you wasn't born into the cast.
I
like
did,
most of
yes, because I require your help in a personal
So
matter.
you're saying he was no Dilger by blood, and yet he made it to their commander?
There hasn't been a good
Yes,
time since the
because
Red
he was a
Madness broke out.
pragmatist. Whatever
And
was
believe me,
necessary to gain him
I wouldn't
influence
bother
and
you with
power.
this if it
Yeah,
weren't
You
important.
know the kind of person.
That doesn't
hard to
go
explain.
along well with
Come.
the fact that he started this war against the Ishian.
Fair enough. Where do I start? Imagine the following scenario. You're in an old fortress. Suddenly a door opens and a bandit charges in. Before you even realize what is happening, he raises his bow, nocks an arrow, and fires it straight at your throat. What happens next? That is one possibility, yes. It might be the one you would experience. Truth, however, is a bit more complex than that. Reality branches off into millions of new realities. One in which the bandit kills you, one in which he gets hit by a falling piece of rubble from the ceiling, one in which a tunnel spider jumps out from the shadows and kills him. The possibilities are endless. Everything that can happen will happen, and creates a new eventuality in the process, another reality. In a million others, yes. There might even be one where a magical anomaly suddenly transforms the bandit into a Mirad. Everything that can happen will happen. This is the nature of our universe. I'm getting there. I assume you know that this mechanism is also the reason for the existence of magic. An Arcanist is able to transport eventualities from one reality into another, and thus perform feats considered supernatural. So far, so good. But what if there were a way to not only bring elements of other eventualities into ours, but to travel these other realities physically? I am indeed. Well, this is where it gets exciting, isn't it? With the Planeswalker. Come, let us sit. Take a seat. Have you ever heard of the name Dalmarek? That's the one. What hardly anyone knows, however, is that Dalmarek's experiments reached far beyond the Sunwheel. Among other things, he worked on a device called the Planeswalker, a combination of Endralian mentalism and Parayan technology. Temporarily, yes. Sadly, Dalmarek never had the chance to finish it, since he was too busy blowing up Thalgard. Lashari? No. Even if we were to find a reality where she didn't die, we couldn't bring her back. Suffice it to say that there is something I need to see. Something I want to see. To be honest, it wasn't my intention to drag someone else into this. But there's no other choice, so here we are. We should, yes. But let me reassure you that this endeavor won't take up too much of our time. And as I've already said, I would not bother you with this if it weren't important. It could, but not that much. Other than what I'm planning to use the Planeswalker for, we lack a concrete plan for using it against the Cycle. The only thing we could do with it is use it to blindly glimpse into other realities and hope that we can gain information in the few moments we have there. And for reasons I will elaborate on later, traveling into other realities is quite dangerous. In other words, it's not worth the risk. No, Prophet. Our fight against the High Ones is one we'll have to fight in this world. There's no way around that. Indeed. It would mean a lot to me, if that's worth anything to you. Apart from doing a good deed, and the chance to do something Arcanists have been dreaming of for millennia, rest assured I will properly reward you. Well, first of all, we need to acquire 2 materials I wasn't able to find here in Ark. The Ether Crystal, and a special kind of alloy. According to my research, Dalmaric's old laboratory in Thalgard would be a good place to start our search. Yes, I'll tell you more about it later. You mean Jakil and Mjoral? Yes, they could. But their magical talents aren't anywhere near powerful enough to help with the activation ritual. Also, Sun knows why, I can't help but feel a certain amount of trust towards you. Right in the middle of Thalgard's contaminated areas, so it will be dangerous. You have a map, don't you? Here. That's where we should find the entrance. I have some preparations to make first, so let us meet there shortly. Ah, and one more thing. I would appreciate it if we could keep this matter between you and I for now. I know I've said it before, but this mission is personal, and I'd rather not have to justify it to Aranthiel. Firstly, because it's a personal matter. Secondly, it's too much of a risk as long as Khalim and his helper are still sauntering about. The less people know of this mission, the better. We will. I will meet you in Thalgard.
Walk blessed. Sure. Where to?
So much to do. Little time.
Tenacious bastards. Sunborn, the descendants of those who had the dubious pleasure of surviving the Sunfire. They don't. I'm not an expert on the subject, but as I understand it, the after effects of the Sunfire crippled their vocal cords. Well, you'd have to ask the Holy Grand Master about that. But honestly, why would they? To the Order, the Sunborn are just a bunch of disfigured savages inhabiting a ruined patch of land. They don't dare go outside the contaminated area. I don't think so. Researching the matter would be quite costly, and who would profit from it? As I said, two objects. The ether crystal, and a special kind of alloy. I'll look for the alloy, you look for the crystal. Agreed? I don't know exactly, but according to my sources, it's made of a fluorescent blue mineral. And regarding your first question, it's the core element of the Planeswalker. Think of it as a kind of enhancer of one's gaze into the sea of eventualities. Well, the reason so many Arcanists lose their minds is that we as mages constantly perceive other eventualities. Not consciously, but as some kind of background static. The ether crystal strengthens our perception of other eventualities while we wear it. If you were to have it with you permanently, then yes, maybe. I suggest you try his old laboratory first. It should be close to the library, so further down. Come on, let's get started. Just come back here once you've found the crystal.